What's up? It's Peter McKinney. Let's go.
Hey, man. You've been struggling. You're tired of living the average life. Man, I feel you. Hey, I have a question. What's the point of serving God if you're going to live an average life? Hey, man, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that thing. That thing that will take you. That thing that's the bridge between average and supernatural. Hey, that one thing can change your life. You need to know what that one thing is. Stay tuned, finish watching this video, and you're going to find out what that thing is. Like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait till you get into this discussion. Hey, go away, man. Faith as little as a mustard seed. That's our discussion today. We're going to talk about faith. Faith is a discussion we've had on this channel before, but you know, I wonder, there's gonna be some things I bring back up. You know, sometimes it takes hearing something multiple times in order for it to get to the head. And faith is that conduit, or is that thing, is that bridge to living a supernatural life, to living a well-balanced life. And today you are tuned in to the MR.NOLDS organization for one of our discussions. If this is your first time, like this video, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications, because we come in with these videos every week. We have a bunch of them already. If this is your first time tuning in, or if you saw one or two, check out the other ones, because we talk about all type of topics. We focus on health, wealth, social life, and spirituality. Those 4 brackets. And under those 4 brackets is so many conversations we can have. So subscribe right now so you can get up to date whenever we drop the video, whenever we have new content. So subscribe right now. But yes, today I wanted to talk about faith. Like the good book, the Bible, it tells us all we need is faith as small as a mustard seed. And I know that when we picture a mustard seed, a lot of us don't know how a mustard seed look. So I advise everyone to Google a picture of a mustard seed. But the Bible tells us if we have faith as small as that mustard seed, man, can we do some damage? We can do a lot. And I posted something on my Instagram the other day, and I said, why serve God to be average? Why serve God to be average? You know, when you're not serving God, when you're not a Christian, you live in your life, you make your own decisions. You basically, no one can tell you what to do. You don't live by no guidelines. You can wake up and do whatever. That life, you know, even though it comes with a lot of repercussions, but that life, and when you're doing whatever you want to do, some of those things, like, you know, fornication, some people stealing, whatever sin it may be, sometimes that life, drinking, drugs, that life in the moment before the repercussions can feel good. So why choose to live a life where you're conservative, where like you live by rules and principles and guidelines that the Bible tells you to live by? Why live that life to be average? I don't see the purpose of giving my life to Christ, following God, to live an average life. Now, the reason why I say that, because majority of Christians, including myself, because you can be living a superior or a successful life in one area. Maybe it's in your finance. Maybe it's in your health. Maybe it's in your social life. But for many of us, we live an average life. We live an average life all around. And we call ourselves Christians. We call ourselves believers in the Most High, believers in God. And for God to be the Almighty, all-powerful, and to be a believer, of the Almighty, all-powerful, and to say that we hear from God, to say that we read the scriptures, God empowers us, and we live just like normal people. It doesn't make no sense. And the reason it don't make no sense is a lot of us, the power, the source, the conduit, Jesus came to set us free and to forgive us. When I mean set us free from sin. Because before Jesus, we was condemned by sin. But Jesus, once we give all our sins are wiped away. So we're set free from that. But there is a thing called faith. That faith, even as small as a mustard seed, that is what, even though Christ can come and forgive us of our sins and free us from condemnation, but that does not mean we walk in the powers of God. That does not mean we live a life how God has called us to live. Why? Because there is something that we need that separates us from living a normal life to a supernatural life. And even those who don't believe in God, that one thing called faith is what separates us from normal to supernatural. Faith is that bridge that crosses you over from average, normal, to superhuman, to supernatural. That is that bridge. Because there is a thing called fear. You see, fear, doubt, they are the opposite. They are the thing that eats away faith. When you live a life of fear, you live a life of doubt. That is why you stay normal. Because a lot of people are consumed by doubt, by fears. Oh, if I do this, this will happen. Oh, I don't think I could do this. I don't have the education thing. I don't know if this person's gonna like me. I'm not qualified. Those are doubts and fear. That's what keep us normal. That's what keep us average. But when you cross that bridge of faith, you see, an average life, a supernatural life, right? They're at two different ends. Fear and doubt is in the middle, because that is the mechanism that Satan used to keep us from being supernatural, living a supernatural life. So that's in the middle. But there is a thing called faith that builds a bridge over fear, over doubt, that connects us from average to supernatural. So that is why it's important to live in faith. I know y'all know that verse. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 7 says, "For we live by faith, not by sight." We live by faith and not by what? Not by sight. We live by faith. As a Christian, as a believer in God, in order to not live just an average normal life, you have to walk by faith. And not by what? By sight. Because faith, you can't see. Sight is the things we can see. So sometimes, remember I told you what the mechanism Satan used? Fear, doubt. That is because of the things we see in the physical world. But faith is things that's beyond us. Faith is things that don't make sense. So we cannot see them because we tend to believe in things we can see. We tend to believe in things we can touch, we can hear, we can smell. We tend to believe in the things that our five senses register. But I tell you, faith, to operate in faith, you have to have an imagination. And you have to believe in the things you don't see, you can't touch, you can't hear, you can't taste. You have to believe in those things, and that is faith. If you are a Christian, if you're a believer in God, and you only believe in the things that you can see, the things that make sense, like 1 + 1 make 2. It's easy. You believe in that. You believe in it because you've seen it. But faith is that you you don't see it. You don't see it. And that is what will cause you to live a supernatural life. Because if you just believe in what you can see, that's everyone. So when everyone believes in something, what does that mean? That means it's the average, it's the norm. That's why a lot of people, they do it the average way. Go to school, get this degree, then you get this job. That's the normal way of thinking. That's the average way of thinking, right? So when you follow that average way of thinking, you fall into average because everybody believes in it. It's the norm to do something. Now, when there's a norm to do something and you go against the grain and you go ahead and you do something different, that takes faith. So, for example, typically in America, if you're going to buy a house, you need, based on the type of loan you're going to get, you're going to need a down payment. Let's say if you're doing a conventional loan, a regular type of loan, 10% down. So if it's $300, if you're buying a house that's $300,000, you need $30,000 cash to put as a deposit. That's what that loan normally requires. But that's the average way. That's a normal way of doing things. But what about that person? They don't even have that deposit. And they say, I'm going to start looking at houses. And they say, I want to put a contract on this house. They see a house they like. They tell the realtor, hey, I want to put a contract on this house to buy it. They don't even have the deposit. So you see, you're moving up the norm. Or let's just say that person, they have the dream. They have a dream. They don't see how they're going to accomplish that dream. But they make an action towards that dream as if they were qualified or as if they were ready. You have to live by faith because it is faith that allows us to do things bigger than us. Because anything that don't take faith to do, it's average. Because you are not going to need faith to do something average because it's the norm. There won't be no fear there. But when it's something out of the norm, when it's something that's not typical, you're going to need to tap into a power greater than you to get that thing accomplished. And I'm telling you, it's that faith. That faith as small as a mustard seed. Because remember, when it comes to God, just give God a little and you see what he do. We see the story with the loaf of bread and a few fish. You just need a little. You've seen the story with the water he turned into wine. He don't need much. That's why that little bit of faith you have. Right now, you probably have no money, but you see yourself as a real estate mogul. Right now, you probably don't know how you're going to get married, but you're planning a beautiful wedding. Whatever it is, even though your present situation, what you can see, don't match up with the dreams and stuff you have, but you're still making actions towards them. That requires faith. Now, I challenge everyone watching this video. Do something. Do something that requires faith. Something that you be like, man, God, I'm going to need you to come do something with this one. I'm believing in you, but I need you to do something. Do something. And I even push you even more. So this is not a power question. This is more of a challenge. I challenge you on a weekly basis or even monthly. Let's start off on a monthly basis. Have some stuff that you want to exercise your faith. Because faith is like a muscle. Faith is like a muscle that you have to train. You have to train your faith. You see, just have you have your physical muscles, you have to lift it to get it stronger and get it bigger. Same thing with faith. Practice your faith. Practice your faith in knowing that you serve a God that everything belongs to him. He created everything. So there's nothing that you could think of or imagine that he cannot do or accomplish. So, but it is done according to your what? That's why Jesus, a lot of times when he would send off people who came to him for healing, he said, it is done according to your faith. Because you cannot, no one can help you if you don't believe. No matter how good I may be in encouraging you and pushing you, but if you don't have any faith in what I'm telling you, nothing will never happen in your life. So begin exercising your faith. Exercising your faith, and no matter how you choose to exercise your faith, stretch your faith. Stretch your faith. Go apply for that job you're not qualified for. Start that business that you're scared of. Do that thing that you are afraid because you don't know how it's going to get done. Push yourself. Push yourself. And you will see along the lines, things will begin to make sense. Things will begin to align. You'll first start off like, oh my God, I don't know. But when you take the act of faith, you'll start seeing everything start coming together. And eventually, boom. You'll be doing things that everyone else may be scared of. Yeah, you may be the first in your family to do it. Take that leap of faith. Yeah, take that leap of faith. Yeah, there's no one has done what you're planning on doing. Take that leap of faith. I tell you today, this was another discussion with the MR.NOLDS organization. And like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with at least 2 to 3 people. And we'll be back next week